Chicago at Detroit. Detroit -10, as you just said. Dude, it hit 10. I don't know when you saw it. I saw it this morning. This was at 10 and a half, 10 and a half. I think even when I checked the lines at 6:30 or 7 this morning, it was still at 10 and a half. Now down to 10. And I love that for us. Like I the Bears had two games in which Caleb Williams played well and they still lost in a coaching mismatch with a lot of coaching mistakes, right? Eberflus on the road is historically bad. I know this feels like a huge, huge, huge number, but all Jared Goff and the Lions do is cover. Goff, 33-11 against the spread the past 3 seasons indoors. The last loss was to the Texans, in which they came back from 1,000,000 points and they still won by 3, and they lost to the Bucs in week 2. This is a very physical football team that is consistent, and that's a theme that I want to come back to later in the show with another team. I'm excited to get your take on that game that I want to talk about. Let me define some physical stats about the Lions. Second overall in success rate offensively. Second overall in success rate for the run. Rush EPA, second. EPA overall, third. They're just great. I don't want to get in front of this train.
Yeah, and it's a team that didn't have to play that hard in the fourth quarter, right? They kind of took their foot off the gas. On the flip side, this Bears team just went to overtime. Now they're on a short week. It's like we're not even talking about that, how big of a deal that is for a noon kickoff, which is pretty insane when you really think about it. Looking at this matchup, Chad, I think we both view the Bears as a team that have turned a corner here, right? Caleb Williams, I saw some crazy stat. He's one of the only quarterbacks, I believe, this season that threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns against that Vikings defense without having a turnover, which, knocked the kid as much as you want for that dumb sack he gave up, but that's a veteran playing type of quarterback. That's a really tough defense, that Vikings defense all season. He played great. So I get where the professionals are coming on. This is such a huge number. They believe that Caleb will be able to get you to the back door. Totally get where they're coming from, but I'm of the viewpoint of what you just said. This Detroit team is different. They're a total complete team. Special teams, defense, and offense. It's all there. And defensively, I think they're going to actually struggle, the Bears, against this Detroit defense in this spot. And I look at the offense, like you just talked about, the running style. How do we not bank that? That's the Bears' biggest weakness, and that's exactly what Detroit wants to do. They want to impose their will. So we already saw the crazy stats from Evan, the fact that, favorites are 10 points or more. They just cover machines on Thanksgiving. We talked about that. And, Goff, this is shocking with Detroit and him and Campbell. He's 0-3 straight up on Thanksgiving. So last year he got upset straight up against Jordan Love. I believe they were a 7.5-point favorite, something like that. And obviously I was on Detroit's side. I cannot see that happening again with this team. I get last year they got caught off guard by that Jordan Love team. This is a totally different scenario, different spot. So, this one's not going to scare me off. Even if it was 10.5, I still would have taken Detroit here in this number.
I haven't bet it yet because I was staring at the 10.5. It was staying at -110. And I was just waiting, knowing there was some rumbling from the professional betting community that they were on the Bears. You could start to see a little bit in how that money was moving, that I felt like it was going to go to 10, and it still may go down further. So I'm happy to wait here.
Mm.
You mentioned the rush. Bears 26th in run stop win rate, what basically means they're not very good at getting off the ball. Their rush defense is truly terrible. They've allowed fewer than 119 rushing yards just 3 times this season. Fewer than 100 yards just twice, once to Jacksonville. And we're talking about a Lions team that runs the ball with abandon on 3rd and long. Because they play every series if it's a full 4 downs. They play all 4 downs. They don't give up 25% of their opportunities to get a first down. So 3rd and 8, they're giving it to Jahmyr Gibbs and thinking, great, we get 4 yards. We're going to go for it on 4th and 4 anyways. So I it's a mismatch in every regard.
Yeah, just to finish it off, the trend stats from Evan. Thanksgiving favorites, double digits, so 10 points or more. 11-0 against the spread since 1990. Favorites of 7 points or more on Thanksgiving. 29-5 straight up, 25-9 against the spread. So, yeah, this is a day for trends, and that's a trend you cannot ignore. We want it to stay apparently at 10, chat. That would
Yeah,
actually be
right.
good for us.
Exactly.